I just watched that film, thinking of ending things, and I think I've seen some reviews, and I've seen some video reviews of. Well, okay, I've seen 2 video reviews, mainly contrasting the film with the book. So when I knew it was written by Charlie Kaufman, I knew it was going to be a bit weird. And when I watched the movie, first thing I thought was there's a lot of low-angle point of view shots as the camera moves in through the house, to the point where I was starting to think, is this a film about a cat that tries to imagine what life's like as a human being? It's the first thing, as a joke. As the film progressed, I was thinking, maybe it's a film about a psychic. Now hear me out. So as the film carried on, I kind of thought that, I thought it was interesting. So anyway, after all the low angle point of view shots, the girls keep saying, I think of ending things, and I'm like, is she planning on killing herself or something? But as she talked more, I noticed Jake was getting more and more perturbed around keywords, like he was getting triggered. So I was thinking to myself that maybe this is a movie about a psychic that kidnapped a girl to try and make the girl his girlfriend. It makes sense. Think about it. So anyway, we got Jake driving around and him talking about different things, her name changing constantly, her interests changing constantly, her hobbies and things changing constantly, her occupation, her studies, what the hell is she doing? You just don't know. The drive, as they're going, it starts interconnecting with this janitor. So starting to think that, maybe he is that janitor. And that he psychically made her think that he's a younger guy. Because once they get to the house, the parents start saying things like, remember your 20th birthday, 50th birthday, 20th birthday. I was like, I see where you're going there. Still trying to convince her, is he? Yeah. So anyway, going back a bit. He goes to the farm, looks at all these animals, and I'm like thinking, it's a pretty old-fashioned looking kind of farm. So what does this mean? This old-fashioned kind of farm? He starts talking about like the pigs and the sheep, and I'm like, I didn't get it. Didn't get that metaphor at all. Just a farm. So anyway, they go into the house and you see the parents, and the parents are like acting really weird. And I was starting to think to myself, like, a couple of those animes I watched, where it's like when you got a sidekick and the parents are constantly on edge because if that kid goes crazy, it's gonna kill everyone. So the parents are constantly trying to make him feel better about himself, to make sure he doesn't go off the charts or anything. And then when they're talking and stuff, they're always on edge and a bit weird. And I didn't notice it at first that the dad's hair changed color, and then as the film went on, the father and the mother kept changing different ages to the point where I was starting to think, and then at one point he misses the way she laughs. So I was thinking that maybe Jake is really old, his dad even older, and his mother's passed away, and she's just a figment of his imagination. And that he's creating like a scenario to try and have like this imaginative time where him and her could meet the parents. So like, he's old, she's young, and he kidnapped her. And her interests and hobbies kept changing. So it gets to this point where the girl moves, talks to the mother again, changing ages, and she tells him to go to the basement. So I expected something to happen in the basement. So she went to the basement and she found the shirt in the washing machine. So like, yeah, it's definitely the janitor that he is. But as she starts looking around the room, she starts seeing all her hobbies and interests, like Kaiser Soze style, like Usual Suspects. These paintings on the wall and TV and stuff everywhere, which she thought she painted and stuff. And I'm like, so none of this is real. So starting to wonder, if none of it is real, is she real? That was my next question. See, up to that point, I was like, is she real or is she imagining it? Is he just created a whole human being out of it and that she's not real? So anyway, as you see him going through, and then they leave the house, say goodbye to the parents, who I think the mother's dead and the dad's just old. As they're driving back, he decides to stop at an ice cream place. When they get to an ice cream place, there's 3 girls there, 2 popular girls, 1 really nerdy girl that we see here in the janitor's flashbacks. So I was thinking, maybe he kidnapped them as well. Because at one point the girl goes, you don't have to go forward, and just stay here. So this could be like a safety spot that Jake always goes past to give them a chance. But really, he's not giving them a chance. He only there's 3 girls there, but some kind of, guilt validation thing. And I was thinking that maybe maybe he's a janitor that preys on these girls that he meets in high school, and as they get older, he kidnaps them and tries to get them, but some of them escape to this pit stop that he always goes to. So he's driving back to the school, and once he gets back to the school, he's in the car and he says, "All right, I'm going to throw away these 2 ice cream things that we never finished anyway." So he goes to the bin and says, it's full. He goes to another bin, he puts it in the bin, and comes back late. The girl's sitting there thinking, I need to end this thing, I want to get out of this relationship and stuff. And I'm still confused whether she's real or she's fake. Eventually he gets angry, says someone's staring at him, the janitor, and he goes into the school. So I'm thinking, man, and then I'm thinking this is like one of those tactics he uses to take her to the killing spot. Because I think by this point, Jake has taken several girls here, and every time his attempt to change her as a person fails, he just kills her in the school for some reason. I don't know what the reason is. I thought we'd find out when we get to the school. He gets to the school, and she's there, he's there, he sees her for the first time, and he gives her the same slippers that Jake gave her at the when they went to the parents' house. I'm like, there's something going there. But is he a nice guy or is he an evil guy? I think he's an evil guy. Because as she left, she said something along the lines of she's never even spoken to him. She just saw him once. So I'm thinking she definitely kidnapped her. And he definitely wants to murder her now. As she walks through the hallway, then suddenly there's a big Oklahoma. I never watch Oklahoma. I don't know what it is. I just know it's a dream sequence from the 2 videos I read about. But in the video, it's like she's dancing with Jake, and then the old man comes and kills Jake, and then he takes her away, and the end. And then it jumps over to the stage where Jake does this big Oklahoma thing, talks about what does he talk about his life and stuff, and disappears. And then we see the car covered in snow. So what I think happened is, the dream sequence is a visual representation of how the old man, after watching the videos, I fine-tuned my idea. He throws away the fake Jake persona and becomes his evil old man self and kills her. But then he goes back to the car, and while he's in the car, he sees the ghost of the pig. The ghost of the pig takes him somewhere to die. I think he died of a heart attack. See? And then at the end of the film, during the credits, you see the car there is covered in snow. So that car has been there for throughout the entire winter. So I think the janitor's van was always there, but Jake has an escape, and Jake always brings the cars there and gets her killed and probably kills her up. And I think that was the final time he killed somebody, because the car's still there. That's what I think happened. Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think that's what Charlie Kaufman was going for. I don't care. If Charlie Kaufman goes down in my comments and says I'm wrong, he was definitely a serial killer. Yeah. They made me think of something though. About the whole beautiful mind thing. Like how you get a genius, and you put him in a position where he's not around geniuses, and he's frustrated, and it isolates him, and it puts him in a position where he goes crazy. But also it could be a thing that he sees himself as an exception, and he lets himself go crazy because he can't deal with regular people. Not sure where that came from. But either way, Charlie Kaufman, I'm on to you.